The quarterfinals of the 2024 Men's NCAA Lacrosse Championship, the defending national champion and top seed Notre Dame Fighting Irish getting set to take on the Georgetown Hoyas and avenge their only loss of the season. They're poised to make a run, but they got to beat the #1 team in the country and the defending champs. And the first face-off of the game goes Georgetown's way, but they can't do anything with it. Here's Chris Cavanaugh working on a shorty. The skip pass, open shot, and the Irish are on the board first.
Go after it, get the grounders. Give your team an opportunity to cash in when you don't win that face-off. Chris Cavanaugh senses a double in McLean.
Has settled in that spot. Here he is, 23.
The common theme with all three of these players, some deceptive speed and moves.
Busikill gets a shot off, and it doesn't get through in Philadelphia last season. Here's Carroll coming upfield, the extra step to greatness, but there's Entman making the save.
Lyle Thompson or Connor Fields with Scott Marr at Albany allowing their quarterback to go everywhere within the restraining box.
Gray shoots and scores on the run.
Find a kill. Clear the ball. Your second midfield has come alive. That's how championships are won, with depth. Riley Gray knows it.
Fisher Finley now a third midfield line on the field for Notre Dame. So Coach Corrigan keeping his team fresh. Look at that pass inside. Cavanaugh scores. One-handed from Jake Taylor.
Time and time again, just catching bad passes, throwing one-handers behind the backs. This is where the backyard pays off. You feel that pressure. He doesn't have the time to find his bottom hand. Shows you the strength of Jake Taylor with the top hand, the creativity in the improv, and then it's all alone.
He's got a matchup he likes, but he loses the ball. Then a big scrum of people in the middle of the field. Looked like the Irish were going to pick it up, and they do.
One way you could beat Notre Dame is jamming it inside, and when Haley has the ball, he can pass.
Ball is tipped. Ends up with Schubert here on the near side. Shoots, he scores!
This time, look at the top hand speed right here of Schubert, the freshman. Bam! That is so hard for a goaltender to track because it's in his stick and it's out. Statistically injured last week against Penn State. And it's not about just winning class. You're going to win the possession, right? There is what happens when you play Notre Dame. You got to deal with the pressure.
Here's Haley. You said Ford's got to have the ball in his cross to get the party started. To Verdaro. He shoots a tough angle shot. Entman's all over it. Here's Chris looking to dodge. What a pass, and a good save that time by Moore. Watch out here. Face on, back checking, gets possession back to the Irish.
I thought that was a push.
Now he's on the shorty, so 51 might look to dodge. Look at the attention he draws. Tried to squeeze it inside, that was a force.
You see all of the pressure inside by Kevin Warren's defense, though.
Oh, and a turnover, though. This is when they're at their most dangerous.
You get the turnover. Hess can't get it out. Pat Cavanaugh does what he always does. He's relentless until the ball crosses the midline, and he finds his younger brother, Chris.
Back to his right, doesn't have any angle there. The Irish patient, but now under 10 to shoot. That's a tough angle, hits the outside of the cage and picked up by Moore. 10 to shoot for Georgetown. Good look, Carroll will shoot this one and score, make no mistake about it.
Is the team's leading goal scorer from scout team to finisher, and he pounds the upper corner on a right-handed goalie, Liam Entenmann. Shot precision, location is everything. Big Italian contingency. They help build the Erie Canal.
Angrick, that's a good look inside, and it's finished by Chris Kavanaugh. The passing on this Irish team is exquisite.
Angrick makes a beautiful pass to the backside to one of the better low-angle shooters in college lacrosse, and Chris Kavanaugh.
Get up behind the cage to Pat. 20 seconds to shoot for the Irish. Shot inside, Moore makes the save on Taylor, but it's picked up by Kavanaugh.
Of a repeat.
Chris. Moore makes that save. Face on, picks it up though. Here we go again, a fresh 60. Gets it over to McLean, now to Chris Kavanaugh near side. Working on Hess. Dauber lets it free. Forget about it.
Well, this isn't your run-of-the-mill, set your feet, let it rip. This is Eric Dobson. He's a flamethrower from North Florida. And that is just sweet heat.
And it'll stay with Notre Dame. Shot clock not a factor here. 15 seconds on the game clock here in the first half. Pat comes off a pick, has a little bit of room, shoots, and scores!
For an offhand, he's got the accuracy, he's got the awareness. And a lot of times you see a lefty here roll back for the question mark, but you'd be rolling back into the pressure if you did that. So you need your offhand when you're topside dominant. No sense of rolling back. With cases like TJ Haley and the guy with the ball right here, Graham Bundy Jr., with that COVID year, 5 years they've been in the program with Kevin Warren. So they're the unquestioned leaders on this side of the field.
Good chance here, and that's a great start for Georgetown.
Alexander Vardaro just uses that quick first step, and then he flies upfield. I mentioned you have to have good shots to beat him. In the first half, he was around goal line extended and shot stick side.
Now Hess checking Kavanaugh. So Kavanaugh's going to want to take advantage of this. You can see the help coming, but he gets to his right and scores.
To get the short stick. Pat Kavanaugh was drafted number 6 overall by the Boston Cannons. He'll play with his brother Matt. You have an attack of Asher Nolting, Marcus Holman, and brother Matt on the left side alongside Adam Sharalambides. The way that Pat Kavanaugh has played this season become even better because you make the guys around you better from a communication standpoint.
Ray loses footing setting a pick. Haley, got to make something happen here. Good look inside. That's one way to do it.
And the patience, too. You see the rollback and another rollback. Once he feels like the eyes are peeled on him, and there was help, Ross Bergmaster started creeping upfield to help that matchup because it was a shorty on Haley. You try to get that perfect shot. But at the end of the day, offenses, it's a rhythm-type pattern.
Schubert was able to get that on Entenmann. He made the save, but gave up the rebound to Llewellyn. Fresh 60 for Georgetown. Ray on the move, shoots. Save made. That's 5 on the day for Entenmann. Got 10 to shoot for Kavanaugh. Question mark, bounces it, and it's in.
Closing doors, time and time again, and then absolute perfection. There's good defense, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And you have the Northern team in Syracuse that brings massive crowds. This place would have been juiced.
Carroll shoots. Entenmann makes the save, and Bergmaster snatches up the rebound. Trying to turn that again today, but they're going to have to mount a massive comeback. Face on. Gets free and scores.
If he could use his first step, plant his foot in the turf right there, he will free his hands. And when he frees his hands, you hear the pipe. The rest is history.
And while Georgetown continues to battle and grind, the lead just extends. Now it's 6 goals, and the relentless attack continues. Angrick can't handle it as it's checked away. Got a short stick hung up. Now he comes upfield. Banks checks him. Look at his strength. It shoots and scores with the shovel shot.
Chris Cavanaugh is feeling it right here by Ty Banks. Getting in the body. He soaks the punch, and he gives the knockout. Feels the pressure, and then he continues to get underneath. And with that backhand, it is so hard to track. I think Anderson Moore thinks potentially Chris Cavanaugh might switch to his left hand.
And they have been on a mission ever since. There you go. There's Bundy.
Who we'll see in game 2. You put O'Neal next to a sharpshooter like a Graham Bundy Jr. It is 2-ball city. He'll plant, he'll rip. And I love the overall mechanics there. Look at the wide base and the hips and the torque.
And they are 11 minutes and 35 seconds away from going back to Philadelphia, a place that will forever hold a special place in Irish lore. Wow. I mean, Chris Cavanaugh is having a sensational game.
This is what defines this move here. Get the defender up at the island. Stay low in terms of center of gravity right here. Gets underneath, and then him leaving his feet was genius because that just increases his angle. If he shot right here, Connor, Anderson Moore is on the pipe.
This is the 3rd midfield unit for Notre Dame on the field. Cavanaugh. Moore makes the save. .20 to shoot. Bundy lets it rip. Scores!
But very rarely do you see a shot like Graham Bundy Jr.
I didn't see the shot.
No, you didn't. That is an absolute hammer. Pure gas. Or maybe he's saying I didn't see it.
Georgetown cannot put together any kind of a run, though. They can't get any momentum. It's just being stifled by Will Lynch at the dot. 10-man ride with an open cage, and it's Napolitano.
It's Marco Napolitano. It's about all the right things. You come into Notre Dame, you sit for 3 years, you finally get your opportunity. Last year, as a senior, you start, you win a national title, you come back for your 5th year.
He almost played for Coach Simmons, but you didn't do a good enough job on his recruiting visit. Will Lynch, talk about putting a stamp on a game.
As a midfielder at Chaminade, he was one of their top offensive players. He was a two-way guy. Didn't face off a ton. He's a right-handed player. He switches to his left to hammer the bottom corner.
Clarinet player as a youngster. He played an instrument, and it was all Long Island, I believe, at some point in time. Schubert scores. That's 2 on the day for Jack Schubert.
This is a beautiful take by Schubert. He's a two-handed player. We saw him spraying in the first round against Penn State, lefty and righty. The bagpipes will continue next week in Philly. It's got everything.
And it usually works. Here's Cavanaugh up top. That's McLean. He'll shoot and score.
You gotta be kidding me. Pick your poison. This is just such a technical rip by McLean. That is beautiful form and location. And I love the way that Chris Cavanaugh kind of sells the ball transfer going the other way. 5 national titles combined between John Tillman and John Danowski. Duke in search of their first since 2014.
Bundy. Yeah. Well, you see, he started to get it on target in the second half, Card.
They were flying out to 9 and blue in the first half. This time it's just too much time, too much room, too much heat. You see the slide.
They'll throw Brock Behrman in there as well, 36, so the Kavanaugh's day looks like it's finished. Behrman, he shoots and scores.
A lot of lower body injuries, but you see the first step still. He's got the shake. But he gets to learn under Will Lynch for this season and next season. So it's not only just the pieces that are here now, it's the recruiting and how healthy this program is moving forward.
Verdaro beats Ensiman low.
Taking a little bit of a pounding, but he's making it count. Drafted in the second round as he soaks one to the head by the Boston Cannons. He'll be teammates with Pat Kavanaugh. So they're searching to take that next step.
This will be 10 quarterfinal round losses in a row for going up against a Duke team that year. Warren was a student at Hofstra. That was his last year playing here at Hofstra. Bundy again. You're right about Bundy. He's getting some great looks and feasting here in this fourth quarter.
It's turn and rake. His form was off in the first half because they were contested shots. This sound, to me, is one of the great sounds in all of lacrosse. When you pound a corner, because the goalie has a hard time tracking it, because you catch high and then you bring it from high to low with the swooping motion, and then you can change your levels.
Here we go again.
Ouch.
Bundy scored 5 goals in the fourth quarter alone.
It's ridiculous. I'll tell you one person who is thrilled to pieces right now. It's Tim Sudan, and set his feet. And the beauty of all this, he'll be teammates with Brendan O'Neill, who could draw a slide. And you put those two guys on the field together, it can change the complexity of an offense that was missing in action last year.
Winner of Denver-Syracuse will play the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in one national semifinal game in Philadelphia a week from today. Desperation pass ends up in Zeph's cross, and that's going to do it. The Irish celebrate on the island. The #1 seed, the #1 team in the country, and the defending national champions take care of business here at Schuart and look forward to a return trip to the Link in Philadelphia next weekend to continue the defense of their national title.